Και πάλι μαζί σας κυρίες και κύριοι, ο Έντουαρντ Ντέκερ, 33ου βαθμού μασόνος, αρχιερέας στην Αμερική, δικός τους βέβαια, στο βιβλίο του The Question of From Freemasonry, το οποίο το έχουν παραμάσκαλα οι πιο πολλοί από αυτούς, κυριολεκτικά, ακούστε τι λέει για το ποιον πιστεύουν ως Θεό. Ναι, ο Εωσφόρος είναι ο Θεός, λέει. Αυτό που πρέπει να πούμε στο πλήθος είναι: λατρεύουμε έναν Θεό, αλλά είναι Θεός που λατρεύεται χωρίς προκατάληψη. Σε σένα, υπέρτατε μεγάλη γενική επιθεωρητή του 33ου βαθμού, λέμε αυτό που πρέπει να επαναλάβει στην αδερφότητα του 32ου, του 33ου και του 30ου βαθμού. Η μασονική θρησκεία πρέπει να κρατήσει και να διατηρήσει μέσω ημών των υψηλόβαθμων την καθαρότητα του εωσφορικού δόγματος. Εάν ο Εωσφόρος δεν ήταν ο Θεός, θα μπορούσε ο Αδωναή, του οποίου οι πράξεις αποδείχνουν τη σκληρότητα, περιφρόνηση και μίσος για τον άνθρωπο, βαρβαρότητα και απέχθεια για την επιστήμη, να στρέφεται εναντίον του και να τον διαβάλει τόσο αυτός όσο και οι ιερείς του. Ο Αδωναή είναι ο Θεός που πιστεύουμε εμείς, γιατί το λέμε από την Παλαιά Διαθήκη, τον λέγανε Αδωναή, ο Κύριος μου δηλαδή, οι Ιουδαίοι, τον Θεό, τον έναν τριαδικό Θεό, που αυτοί τον είχαν ως μοναδικό, όχι τρισυπόστατο όπως τον έχουμε εμείς, γιατί δεν είχε αποκαλυφθεί την όλη δόξη του. Λοιπόν, αυτό έμελε να γίνει με την παρουσία του Χριστού φυσικά, την οποία δεν δεχτήκαν και τον κυνήγησαν πρώτοι αυτοί. Λοιπόν, ναι, ο Εωσφόρος είναι Θεός και δυστυχώς ο Αδωναή είναι επίσης Θεός. Δύο θεοί δηλαδή γι' αυτός. Ο αιώνιος νόμος λέει ότι δεν υπάρχει φως χωρίς σκιά, ομορφιά χωρίς ασχήμια, μαύρο χωρίς άσπρο, γιατί το απόλυτο μπορεί να υπάρχει μονάχα σαν Θεός με δύο όψεις. Η ασχήμια δηλαδή είναι ο τριαδικός Θεός που πιστεύουμε εμείς και η ομορφιά είναι ο Εωσφόρος που πιστεύουν αυτοί. Το φως είναι ο Εωσφόρος, η σκιά είναι ο Θεός, ο τρισυπόστατος Θεός. Μάλιστα. Το σκότος είναι αναγκαίο για το φως, για να χρησιμεύσει σαν αντίθεσή του. Έτσι όλα τα περί σατανισμούλη είναι λάθος. Η αληθινή και σε φιλοσοφημένη θρησκεία είναι η πίστη στον Εωσφόρο, τον ισότιμο του Αδωναή. Αλλά ο Εωσφόρος, Θεός του φωτός και Θεός του καλού, παλεύει χάρη της ανθρωπότητας εναντίον του Αδωναή, Θεού του κακού και του σκότους. Είναι δηλαδή οι πολεμιστές του Εωσφόρου αυτοί. Πολεμούν στο πλευρό του Εωσφόρου εναντίον ημών και του Θεού ημών. Τα λένε οι ίδιοι, δεν τα λέω εγώ. Και τώρα θα δείτε μια συνέντευξη που δόθηκε σε ένα αμερικάνικο κανάλι, σε μια συνάδελφο εξ Αμερικής, του William Σνόμπελεμ. Αυτός έφτασε πάρα πολύ ψηλά στη μασονία, πρώην μασόνος, πάρα πολύ ψηλά, και αρχιερέας της Εκκλησίας του Σατανά, παρακαλώ. Μέλος των Ιλουμινάτι, medium, πρόεδρος της Ενώσεως Μάγων Β στη ΣΥΠΑ και καθολικός ιερέας μαζί. Όλα αυτά τα είχε μαζί αυτός ο άνθρωπος. Για να δούμε τι είπε όμως, γιατί είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικά αυτά που είπε.
You were Mason for
9 years.
And how high up did you go?
Well, I went through the typical Blue Lodge degrees, went through York Rite all the way up to the Knights Templar Commandery, went through the Scottish Rite all the way up to 32nd degree, and at that time, then I was considered worthy to get into what is called esoteric Freemasonry, which most American Masons don't even know exists. And in that organization, I was admitted into the Rite of Memphis Mitzrayim, and I went up to 90th degree, which a lot of Masons, if they even hear that, they will, their false teeth will fall out of their heads. But there are actually at least 97 degrees in the higher level esoteric rite. Well, basically, it's its own religion. It's a religion which does not honor Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and it is a religion that demands people that they do things that are contrary to the commandments of God.
Plus you can't go home to your wife and tell her about it.
No, it's all secret from your wife. You can't tell your wife, you can't tell your family. And plus, the other thing that, you see, I have an excuse. I was a pagan when I went into the Masons. Most Masons aren't. Most Masons are some kind of, Lutherans, Baptists, Methodists, whatever. Now, what's contained in that, if you're a Christian? You're saying you have long been in darkness and now seek to be brought to light. Mm-hmm. And you have Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, the light of the world, in your heart. And yet you're in darkness. You've just denied your Lord and Savior. Now, if I was a pastor or a deacon, or even a Christian layperson that knew more than word one of the Bible, I would at that point say, I'm done, give me my clothes back, give me my jewelry back, I'm out of here. But 40,000 Southern Baptist pastors are Freemasons.
Wow.
And I don't mean to pick on that denomination. There's other examples. I mean, most any denomination is rife with Freemasons. And if you look at a list of most of the prominent occultists of the 20th century, you'll find that almost all of them were Freemasons. Well, if you read the writings of the Masonic leaders, that comes from Lucifer.
And how many Masons know that?
Maybe 1 in 1,000.
Wow.
The rest are just like cannon fodder. Most of them don't have a clue unless they bothered to toddle upstairs and read the books that are in their own Masonic libraries like I did. Here's the funny thing. The Masonic oaths are more horrible by a country mile than are the witch oaths. However, if you go up the York Rite, which is supposedly the Christian branch of Freemasonry, and you get to the Royal Arch degree, there you swear an oath which says, I will keep the secrets of a Royal Arch companion, murder and treason not accepted. So if you know that your brother, Royal Arch Mason is a murderer or a traitor, you have to keep that secret. And both of those degrees also have a similar clause which says that if I know that a brother Master Mason is in danger, I am under obligation to warn him of approaching danger. So if you're a police officer, if you're a judge, if you're a officer of the court, and you find out that a warrant is going to be served on a brother Mason, you are under a blood oath obligation to go and warn that guy so he can skip town.
It's just so terrible. Mm-hmm. Scary for our country.
Especially when you think of how many judges are Freemasons. Because it used to be virtually all lawyers were Masons.
It's also hard to believe that so many important, powerful people have been through such strange things.
Yeah. Many, I think it's 17 presidents have been Freemasons. Many of our founding fathers were Freemasons. And they go through this partly because it's sort of expected. It's very hard to rise to political power in this country unless you are a Mason or something worse, like our current president, who is a member of Skull and Bones, which is an even worse fraternity. Of course, it's related just to Yale, and it's a much more elite fraternity, but it's nevertheless very spooky, as you might know by the name.
Right. You say that to advance into serious Satanism beyond the Church of Satan level, it would be necessary to complete two apparently paradoxical tasks. The first was to join the Order of Freemasons and become a Master Mason, and the other was to receive holy orders and become a Catholic priest. So how many Master Masons know that there are Satanists among them?
I'd say probably the same figure I quoted earlier, 1 in 1,000.
Right.
I knew, just in Milwaukee, I knew at least 5 or 6 Masons that were involved in either witchcraft or Satanism. And one of them was he was a worshipful master. And he never, and see, this is one thing people ask me, well, they say, in the higher degrees, is that where you get this stuff? No. This guy had never gotten past Master Mason, but he had worked his way through the chairs, as they say, and become even a worshipful master, which is like the head of the lodge. In Illuminism, there's this idea of creating a false dichotomy. What people don't realize is that the Catholic Church helped start the Masons. And that, for example, the Scottish Rite, most of the degrees in the Scottish Rite were written by Jesuits. So even though there is this apparent antipathy between the Masons and the Catholics, to the point that up until John Paul II's reign, if you became a Mason and you were a Roman Catholic, you were de facto excommunicated, just like that. But actually it's all a sham, because most of the high level of people in the Vatican are all Freemasons, and many of the people that are Freemasons are Catholics.
Why do they have the sham? What do they get out of that?
Well, originally, you see, it's like the old Hegelian idea, which he actually got from the Illuminati, of thesis, antithesis, synthesis. You have two opposing things, and they fight, and they come together, and they create and in this case, the idea would be to create a one-world religion out of these two opposites. The two things come together, and they merge. And that's actually happening right now before our very eyes. Because, for example, I don't know this, but I have serious reason to believe that the new Pope is in fact a Freemason. The old Pope who just died was a Freemason. The Pope before him was a Freemason.
How do you know
that? The Pope
that?
before him was not only a Freemason, but a Rosicrucian.
How do you know that?
Well, the Angelo Roncalli, who was John the 23rd, he was a member of a very high-level Rosicrucian Masonic order. There are records to that effect, and that's been documented in a book called The Broken Cross. I forget the author, but you can look it up on the internet, I'm sure. Paul VI created, he enlarged the College of Cardinals. And just by coincidence, almost all the cardinals, he took archbishops and made them cardinals. That's what the Pope does. Almost every one of those cardinals, those new cardinals, were Freemasons. Now, by inference, we can assume that he was probably a Freemason, but that's only circumstantial. When John Paul II was shot, he gave the Grand Masonic Hailing Sign of Distress.
Oh, okay.
Which is what Masons do when they're in dire straits. Also, John Paul II is the Pope who issued the bull, which is what, like a papal decree, it's called a papal bull, that basically removed the ban on Freemasonry.
Oh, okay.
Which is also somewhat telling. So, to answer your question, the antipathy there is more imaginary than real.
Μάλιστα. Τώρα θα σας διαβάσω κάτι ακόμα, το οποίο είναι από το Morals and Dogma, ηθική και δόγμα δηλαδή, του Albert Pike. Μέγας ιερέας των Μασόνων αυτός, 33ου βαθμού, από τους κορυφαίους στην Αμερική. Λέει, η μασονία είναι η έρευνα για το φως. Αυτή η έρευνα οδηγεί κατευθείαν πίσω στην καμπάλα. Κατά τους καβαλιστάς, το αληθές όνομα του σατανά είναι Γιαχβέ. Αφιερωμένο εξαιρετικά αυτός ο μάρτυρος του Ιεχωβά. Που είναι αθώα θύματά τους βέβαια, γιατί και ο ιδρυτής του Ρωσέλ ήταν 33ου βαθμού μασόνος. Κατά τους καβαλιστάς λοιπόν το αληθές όνομα του σατανά είναι Γιαχβέ, προφερόμενον αντιστρόφως, διότι θεωρείται ως η άρνηση του Θεού και ο ουχίος μαύρη θεότης. Δια τους μίστας δεν απετέλεσε ποτέ προσωπικότητα, αλλά δύναμη δημιουργηθήσαν δια το καλόν. Αλλά έτσι δίνεται να τη χρησιμοποιήσει για το κακό. Είναι όργανο της ελευθερίας ή της ελευθέρας βουλήσεως. Αντιπροσωπεύει μια προεξέχουσα φυσική δύναμη ή της η στην μυθολογία είναι συμβολίστη όσο κερασφόρος Θεός. Αυτός δηλαδή είναι το σύμβολο της ελευθερίας. Ο Πάνας λέει. Εκείθεν δε προήρθεν η Θεότης με κεφαλή τράγου, αδελφή Θεότης του προϊστορικού όφεως και του φωσφόρου, εωσφόρου, του κομίσαντος στο φως, του οποίου οι ποιητέ μετέβαλαν ως των μυθικών εωσφόρων. Ο τεκτονισμός, όπως και οι θρησκείες, τα μυστήρια, ο ερμητισμός και η αλχημία, αποκρύπτει και δεν αποκαλύπτει τα μυστικά τους, εκτός μόνον εις τους ειδήμονας, τους σοφούς και τους εκλεκτούς. Η μασονία είναι ο χώρος φύλαξης και διατήρησης από την εποχή του Ενόχ όλων των φιλοσοφικών και θρησκευτικών αληθιών, αγνώστων στο ευρύ κοινό, που παραδίδονται από γενιά σε γενιά κρυμμένα σε σύμβολα, εμβλήματα και αλληγορίες. Η μασονία είναι παγκόσμια, αιώνια και αμετάβλητη θρησκεία, έτσι όπως ο Θεός την τοποθέτησε στην καρδιά της ανθρωπότητας. Μάλιστα. Αν τώρα, επειδή είπε ο Σνόμπελερ ότι η συντριπτική πλειοψηφία των μασόνων είναι τροφή για τα κανόνια,